When first hearing about the movie Burn the Witch, not gonna lie, I was expecting a 1600s pitchforks out, you know, some Salem witch trials type shit. Right? Like, get it? Cause Burn the Witch, like the Salem witch trials, you know? Like, come on guys, I can't be the only one who thought about that when I heard the name. Like, for real though. Burn the Witch is a highly anticipated film that came out early in the beginning of the fall season. And well, technically I wouldn't call it a movie because it was broken up into 3 episodes, which is weird because I've never seen a movie get broken up into 3 episodes, but I guess that's on Crunchyroll. But at the same time, I have no idea what Crunchyroll did that because it's a movie, and movies supposed to be full length and not broken up into 3 episodes. So why in God's name would you break it up into 3 episodes? Okay, moving on. If you also didn't know, the story is a spin-off series based off of the world-renowned shonen series Bleach, written by the legendary Tite Kubo. If you're wondering how he got that name, is because mainly most of the time that mad lad Kubo knows how to draw a mighty fine lady. Dang, bro. I let Noel step on me any time of the day. Anyways, hello, my name is Daiki and welcome to my video on Burn the Witch. 1 week later edition. If you stuck around to this point, then thanks. Here's some chalky milk, because in this video I'll explain to you why Burn the Witch is a great movie, both animation and story wise, but I also think that this film has some quite critical flaws that stop this from becoming such an amazing film. So without wasting too much of your time, let's start with explaining the plot before we get down to the real business. Plot! And no, I'm not talking about that kind of plot. For now anyways. So there are 2 mainly prominent eras that take place in the story, and that is London and Reverse London. The story follows 2 witches by the name of Noelle Nihashi and Nini Spangle, who are both agents in an organization by the name of Wingbind, an establishment that specializes in getting rid of dragons that are cause of 72% of deaths in London alone. Burn the Witch gets my thumbs up because it's one of the most visually pleasing anime to come out this year. From start to finish, I love the animation throughout my whole experience. For in fact, it was animated by this company called Studio Colorido. I've never heard of Studio Colorido. I doubt you've heard of Studio Colorido before. When I first read it, I thought it said Studio Colorado. But actually, the studio did a quite fantastic job capturing both the fight scenes to Kubo's signature art style, in which we all recognize and love, and also capturing the real plot of the show. You know what I'm talking about. This cute little doggo over here, of course. And although I've spent a bit of time covering the animation of the show, the animation doesn't really define the series as a whole. I think anybody who watched all 3 episodes of Burn the Witch would agree that they wish the story could have been more fleshed out. For I do believe that 3 episodes wasn't enough to really capture my attention throughout the whole quote-unquote film. And I'm not one to give criticism about pacing, but with Burn the Witch, I really wish there was better pacing throughout some parts in the film. Now, don't get me wrong, most of the time I think the pacing was fairly smooth throughout, but you know, there are some rough edges that need to be addressed. For example, like how in the beginning of the film, we were introduced to the 2 main characters quite quickly, not giving you a lot of time to get attached to them. Although this did even out as you kept going, it took a bit to keep on track who these characters really were and what they normally do. Another example is towards the end where, no spoilers, but something quite interesting occurred. I got really invested into this film, especially around this part, but how the problem was solved turned out to be a letdown, which really disappointed me. This 3-part film mainly felt like a pilot episode, or maybe like the 6th episode to a 12 episode anime, and I'm not gonna lie, it made me really want more of the story. I want to see more world building. I want to see more people blasting the shiz out of these dragons because it looks freaking awesome. I want to see more of some Wingbind uniform thigh highs, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, you definitely know what I'm talking about. I did hear things about Kubo making a 2nd season or something of that sort, and I say why not? If that actually happens, I hope the story turns into an actual anime series like how something like Little Witch Academia did. The anime also tends to do what Kubo naturally likes doing, introducing a bunch of side characters that don't really have much relevance to the anime in the long run. Like honestly, what was the point of that little monologue at the end for the 1st episode introducing all those characters when only this guy was going to be the most relevant? It really seemed like the anime really wanted to focus on the 2 main characters, which I was completely fine with because I absolutely loved the relationship between the 2 and how they interacted. But because of that reason alone, the rest of the cast felt overshadowed, especially when they introduced Balgo, who I thought was completely useless to the story and literally had no use to anything throughout the whole film. And is it just me, or does this guy look like the anime version of Sans? Yeah, that wasn't in the script, I just feel like putting that out there. Overall, this movie was a very nice and enjoyable experience for me, and I would definitely watch this a 2nd or a 3rd time later in my life. It really took me back to the old nostalgia I had originally watching and reading the Bleach series when I was younger, and I do in fact recommend this to anyone who is interested in the story from my quick review. The main question I've been seeing a lot is, should you watch this even if you haven't finished Bleach or even watched a single episode of Bleach? And I think yeah, it's pretty much completely fine. And although dedicated Bleach fans compared to just other people who have totally different experiences watching this, there really isn't much of anything to confuse you or references from the original Bleach story that you should already have a clear knowledge of. Like I said before, it's like its own story. So yes, I do believe that Burn the Witch is worth watching watching regardless of if you're familiar with the original Bleach story or not, and as always, if you enjoyed this review, then I'd appreciate if you subscribe, because I make a lot of reviews similar to these. Also join my Discord where we have a good time and where you can give me recommendations of anime you'd like me to review or are interested in me checking out. So as always, thank you for making it this far into the video, and I will see you guys later. Lord Daiki, out.
All she wanna